State government is taking a new approach to try stopping Oklahoma's ongoing swarm of earthquakes. It comes at a time when new laws are in the works to give an absolute authority to the Corporation Commission to deal with the quakes. At the same time, the number of lawsuits against oil and gas producers continues to rise.
Northwestern Oklahoma is now the most earthquake-active area of the state. The recent 5.1 quake near Fairview made it clear for state officials and scientists that predictions of stronger quakes were on target. The Corporation Commission has issued an order now that encompasses more than 5,000 square miles of northern Oklahoma, telling 45 different operators they have to reduce wastewater injection volumes by an overall 40% in a series of stages over the next 2 months.
It's the largest volume cutback we've ever done. I think that what you're seeing is simply a progression of the information and the knowledge that we've gained because of all the research that's being done.
Matt Skinner is spokesman for the Oklahoma Corporation Commission. He says this new order goes a step further.
This plan, which no other plan has done before that we've issued, goes out into an area that doesn't have seismicity right now, doesn't have major seismicity, and goes out to wells that don't have earthquakes around them.
That's the area of the new order that gets close to Woodward. It's becoming clear the quakes are moving further and further west. By plotting the earthquakes over the last several years on a map, this is the visual representation of what's been happening. Commission staff hopes this new regional approach produces the desired result.
There is no way to know if it's going to work. What is known is that the data is overwhelming, that this step has to be taken.
One thing is becoming clear. The amount of wastewater from oil and gas operations that is being injected under Oklahoma has dropped sharply, in large part due to the cutbacks ordered by the Commission.
Over the course of 2015, pretty substantial drop. And about 2/3 of that, at least, is really from the wells that have a directive on them from the Corporation Commission, and only about 1/3 just wells that don't, so we think maybe that's economics.
Dr. Jeremy Boak is director of the Oklahoma Geological Survey. He is hopeful this new order from the Commission for Northwest Oklahoma produces the kind of results he is seeing elsewhere in the state. Along with the drop in injection volumes, Dr. Boak has found a corresponding drop in the number and magnitude of Oklahoma quakes, a trend he first saw developing last summer.
In the kind of central area, in this area, we're actually seeing a decline in the seismicity rate. This is still increasing. And this is the area where the Corporation Commission has done most of its directives. So I think we might be showing that there's an effect now.
The oil play in northwestern Oklahoma is known as the Mississippi Lime, an oil field that produces huge amounts of wastewater, more than anywhere else. Dr. Boak suspects drillers will begin to walk away from fields like the Mississippi Lime.
I think we're likely to move on to different plays, and people are going to be much more wary.
However, all of the orders coming from the Commission are still voluntary for injection well owners. Longtime Oklahoma oil man Mickey Thompson suspects some of those Commission orders have simply been ignored by operators because there is no way the Commission has the staff to verify compliance.
The Commission does not have enough authority at this moment to do what needs to be done. Some of us have been complaining now for about 4 years that the legislature should act.
And that may now be happening. A House committee this week gave unanimous approval to a bill from House Speaker Jeff Hickman, who lives in Fairview, the epicenter of the state's most recent earthquake swarms.
Recently that there was some in the industry that challenged that authority. So to make sure that there is not a single doubt about whether the Commission has the full authority, this legislation clarifies that indeed the Commission has the authority without so much as a hearing.
Oilman Mickey Thompson has been an outspoken critic of the state's response to the quakes. Thompson says the state wasted 4 years of time in dealing with the problem, while other states moved quickly to stop the shaking. And he knows firsthand.
Many people have said, look at what happened in Arkansas. You know, I happen to be very familiar with what happened in Arkansas. One of our company's disposal wells was shut in permanently in Arkansas. The strong and immediate action taken by the governor in Arkansas and backed up by the legislature in Arkansas stopped the earthquake swarm in Arkansas.
Thompson does not support a blanket moratorium on injection wells, but he says the actions taken to close down those 7 wells in Arkansas, including his, had a higher purpose.
I realize that the geology is different and the politics is different in Oklahoma, but the people are not any different. And protecting the public safety really should be the only real concern.
And Thompson says he hopes whatever the Oklahoma legislature finally does with Speaker Hickman's bill, that it will include the authority to verify compliance.
They have not had the authority to even track the water. How much water? At what pressure? Because there's no reporting requirement. I mean, are you serious? The legislature, again, has got to pass enough legislation so the commission can feel comfortable in passing reporting requirements, stringent reporting requirements, now that we know what we know about induced seismicity.
The number of earthquake lawsuits is up to at least 4 now, the latest being the Sierra Club against 3 of the state's major oil companies. Some of the suits are based on damage to property from the quakes, and that's an issue Dr. Boak says the state has yet to address.
I think we still have hanging out there the question of how many homes have suffered not necessarily damage from an individual earthquake, but the cumulative effects of multiple ones. That to me is the major outstanding issue there. And